Hey BookTube, it's Peg. I'm back here at the History Shelf. Wow, I thought I was getting all better, and I was getting sharp with things, but just a second ago I realized I was talking to the camera and I didn't have the record button on. I had the camera light on, but no recording button, so I just had 5 minutes of preamble with no payoff for anyone, so now I've got to start all over. Anyway, happy Christmas. It's the day after Christmas if you celebrate Christmas. I hope and trust it was a lovely one with your family and friends. Um, we had a pretty quiet one here. We're still recovering from a pretty gnarly cold virus. I'm better. Martine is still in the throes of it. So our plans with my sister and brother-in-law kind of are postponed, so we weren't able to exchange gifts on Christmas Eve with them. But Martine and I had a lovely, quiet Christmas Eve and Christmas Day, and I wanted to show you some of the books I got for Christmas because everyone loves a Christmas book haul. I've been seeing a lot of them out there, and I've just been loving all the BookTube videos. Um, uh, I just want to say by way of BookTube watching that sometimes I'm watching on my TV and I want to comment to you guys, and I'm like, okay, well, I got to remember to do that later. Please know that a lot of you guys who follow my channel, and I follow you, and we're all friends here, that I have things I want to chat with you about, and I'm watching your videos and liking them. I just haven't gotten around to sitting down at the desk and doing the commenting, but I've been really enjoying all the different BookTube videos. Again, it's really been keeping me going. Uh, so having said that, let's just dig into some of the books. And I do want to say that this video might be a little bit longer because I'm going to be covering just some stories behind the books, why I asked for them, that kind of tie in with podcasts and movies. And I wanted to show you a couple of the gifts that we exchanged that, I don't know, I just want to share. So this kind of might be a bookish slash entertainment movie YouTube video. So you guys out there who follow me, let me know if you're okay with longer videos. I know that they say to keep it to a certain time period, but I don't know. I just have a lot to catch up on with you guys, and I miss talking with you and getting your feedback and stuff, and just hearing what you think about books and movies and things like that, podcasts. And anyway, I'm glad to be back. This is my second video since being gone for 2 weeks. So anyway, please bear with me, and I hope you enjoy. Okay, so the first book I got under the Christmas tree from Santa is a historian's, squeal-worthy book, and it completes my collection of landmark histories. I finally got the landmark Julius Caesar, the complete works. This is put out by the Anchor Books people, and this one is in paperback. I don't know if you can see up here on my shelf. Let me get I can't get right over there. Ooh, there we go. I have three landmarks right there. Oh, and Thucydides is not there, but I have Thucydides, so I need to make sure they're all together. But anyway, this is the landmark Julius Caesar. This one is, obviously we've got the Gallic War, Civil War, Alexandrian War, African and Spanish War, and they're just beautiful with notes and maps. These are just the ultimate resource. We got photos of sculpture. It's just awesome, and I've been wanting this for a while, and I haven't pulled the trigger to order it myself. So I thought I'd put this on my Christmas list, and sure enough, Santa came through. So the landmark Julius Caesar, you guys, isn't that beautiful? Yes. Again, it's going to go up on that shelf. I've got the landmark Herodotus, the landmark Xenophon, and the landmark Arrian, and then the landmark Thucydides, which for some reason is on another shelf. I might have been reading it and I didn't put it back in the proper place. But now, got Caesar to go along with it, you guys. Oh, also, Merry Christmas. I know some people love it, some people hate it, but this is my first cup of eggnog for the season. That little eggnog mustache. This is great stuff. I never used to like eggnog, but as I grew older, I appreciate it because it's thick, it's cold, and it kind of reminds me of a milkshake, you know. And with how scratchy and dry my throat's been lately, I have been dipping into ice cream and different things like that to soothe it. I'm going to need to go on a diet after Christmas here, after the holidays, to lose the ice cream fat I've gained because my throat was just a nightmare. But anyway, happy holidays. If you enjoy eggnog, I hope you are having some. I do not spike mine. I don't drink any longer. So this is just plain. What is this? No, it's just the. Okay. Sorry you weren't watching for that. But okay, so that was my first. That was my one history book. I do have a couple of. Well, I'll show you in a minute. They're kind of special, and there's a story behind that. I also asked for some fiction because that's typically something I don't buy myself too much. So I usually save it for birthdays and Christmas time. So there we go. So the first reference to a TV show, which got me wanting to read the books, was the Stars Channel's The Dublin Murders. I think I've mentioned that before on this channel. Really have been into it. I kind of stopped about 3 or 4 episodes in because I'm like, I think I want to read these books. But I think I will finish the series and then just read the books anyway. I'm really intrigued by the main characters. So I asked for and received Tana French's In the Woods. As you can see, the inspiration for the Dublin Murders on Stars. So, in case you don't know, I don't know if any one of you guys have been watching it. Let me know in the comments below if you have. But it traces a story of something that happened in the summer in 1984 in the woods in a small Dublin suburb, and 3 children don't return. Then one does, and it's under some really shady circumstances. And anyway, flash forward 20 years later, one of the kids is a detective with a different name. And I'm not going to say anything more. But anyway, there's something else going on now, 20 years later, that ties into what happened in the woods in 1984. So it's just a really good, intriguing story, kind of dark. The characters are very flawed so far in the series, and I'm guessing they will be in the book anyway. So then the way the Stars series is setting it up is that they're combining, I guess, 2 books, 2 of Tana French's books, the In the Woods, and then her second book, The Likeness. So this one has a different storyline, but kind of follows along 6 months after the case that they start with. But in the TV show, they're weaving the 2 storylines simultaneously. But I'm really intrigued. This one's going to be really focused on Cassie. Cassie Maddox is one of the detectives, and I really like the Irish actress who plays her in the series, and I'm just enjoying the series. I'm really getting into just Irish shows more. I'm just learning so much, with Martine's heritage and I mean, she's a citizen of Ireland still. She is a citizen of Ireland, and I'd like to go back. Go back. I've never been there, and I want to go to Ireland though. I'm really intrigued by it, and I know someone in Ireland to visit. I believe his name is Jason Harrigan, Byways in Bookland. So yes, so these are set in Dublin, and I'm really so tickled pink. So those are the other 2 books I got, and then so excited, and this is the book I've started reading already because it's been a while since I finished the first book in this series, and this is Anne Cleeve's second Shetland mystery book in the Shetland series, and this is White Nights, and this follows on directly after the events of Boomer just ran in. Hi, Boomer. Of Raven Black. And I've already Christmas Day, I just jumped in. I'm already in chapter 4. I really like the 2 of the characters in here are really cool. Obviously, the lead detective is Jimmy Perez. And then this lady, Fran, she's a single mom. I thought after I read Raven Black, I thought I'd check out the BBC series and see how they adapted the first book. I didn't get too far into it. I'm sure I'll try to finish it, watching it, the show. But I was just so not depressed, but disappointed that the actor they chose to play Detective Jimmy Perez um, doesn't look anything like Jimmy Perez. I mean, he's Jimmy Perez, and Jimmy Perez has a very interesting story because obviously he is. He's not your typical like Shetlander, right? He's not a Viking's ancestry or anything like that. He's as the book describes, olive skin, dark hair, just very ruggedly handsome, and they say that the story is that his ancestors were with the Spanish Armada, and as they were going their way around Scotland after they were beaten by Elizabeth, and they were trying to get away, and they went up, because the Shetland Islands are far north or a little northeast of Scotland proper. They were shipwrecked there. One of the ships was shipwrecked there, and his ancestor, a Perez, was on board, and he made a life in Shetland. So I find that fascinating. I just wish they would have chosen a character that looked more like Jimmy Perez. Anyway, I'm really enjoying it. We're already it gets into the action quickly. There's an amnesiac. There's something bad's about to happen. I love it. I'm really enjoying Ann Cleeves' books. Okay, and then these two were quite the surprise, even though I shouldn't have been surprised because it's part of my Christmas tradition of gifts. Is that I have, not only did I get, let's see, which is the latest one. Okay, I got 2 Bernard Cornwell books for the with the Saxon Tale series, the Last Kingdom, as most of you might know from the Netflix series, which I've watched a couple episodes, but not all, because I kind of want to just stay with the books. But I got in hardcover, no less, Bernard Cornwell, War of the Wolf. I'm trying to figure out which number this is. There's so many of these. Well, we're up to 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. This is the 11th book in the series, and I am a few behind. And in fact, last Christmas, Martine got me the other 2 books that preceded these. So I've got 4 hardcovers now of Bernard Cornwell. I'm currently reading The Empty Throne, which is number 9 in the series. Then there's Warriors of the Storm, which I have in hardcover. The Flame Bearer, hardcover, both Christmas gifts last year. And now she got me War of the Wolf. So I need to get cracking on my Saxon Tale reading and get caught up with Mr. Cornwell. And then this is the brand spanking new. This is the latest book in the series. This is Sword of Kings. So this is pretty damn dope. I just love these. I love these. If you guys aren't familiar, I really highly recommend the Saxon Tales. If you're going to try reading any of Bernard Cornwell's stuff, the Saxon, and if you like Viking stuff and just early English history, around like between 900 and 1100, you can't go wrong. He's got the place names correct. He's got the maps. I mean, he's just it's pretty awesome. And he gives the original spelling of the right on this page right here. Like Kent was a C with a C. Canterbury was Cantwaraburg. I mean, it's like Old Middle English or whatever, but it's really cool stuff. So I got the latest 2 Bernard Cornwell. So I was just giddy about that. So I got this really cool stack of fiction. I've got the my mysteries. I'm really excited about that. Excited to dig into Dublin Murders. I'm going to read White Knights first, I think. I've already started it. And of course, I've got the beautiful Julius Caesar. I really need to start digging into this. I just love it. Okay, so then 2 special books, and I think she said there's more on the way. Oh my goodness. Thank you. Okay, so these 2 books came after I watched I listened to a podcast on iTunes. I like listening to podcasts when I drive to work and while I'm working. Um, there's a really charming, I enjoy ghost stories. I like real life ghost stories and things like this. And actually, there's a podcast named called Real Life Ghost Stories. And it's hosted by this couple. Uh, one is English or British, one is British and one is Irish, Dan and Emma. And Emma will read stories that people have sent in. And they'll also do movie reviews of old and new stuff. They'll review stuff that's on like movies, scary movies on Netflix, things that you've seen, and they'll give their own take on it. And Dan has his own. He's really into film, so he has a really good take on things like just cinematography or pacing, and I mean, so he has some really cool insights. And Emma's just she's hilarious. Uh, I mean, Martina and I both really enjoy it, and because a lot of times Emma will bring up things about Irish lore, and Martine remembers these things very vividly, uh, like the banshee, for instance. Wow, she's told me some stories about the banshee and how um, that people in her family have heard the banshee, and it's something you've never heard, and once you've heard it, you'll never forget it. And it always happens around, like, right before someone dies or something. It's really intriguing. But Emma will talk about different things like that. And so she was reviewing this movie that's on Netflix. Or no, I'm sorry, it's on Amazon Prime Video, and it's free. So it's free if you guys have Amazon Prime. It's called The Hole in the Ground, and it's an Irish movie. The Irish actor, all Irish, actors, and I was just like, oh, I'm down with that. So I rented it. Not rented, it was free, sorry. So and she said she really liked it. you know um, the premise being almost like a changeling type of thing, but in Irish lore, I guess, fairies are not what Americans consider fairies, like floating around, little wings, Tinkerbell. Apparently, they're terrifying and extremely evil. And then apparently in Irish lore, fairies were known to steal your children and replace them with like a clone, but the mother would always like, this is not my child. So the movie, The Hole in the Ground, has that type of um, storyline. There's this huge hole way out in the forest behind their house in the country, and apparently that's where the fairies. Hey, go check it out. It was an interesting movie. So I told Martine, I'm like, I'd like a book, that really just talks about for real, like the myths, legends, folklore of Ireland. And she's like, let me look into that for you, because she's like, I don't want any bastardized, American version of what Irish folklore is. She goes, I want to go to the source. Well, wouldn't you know it? She reached out to our friend Jason Harrigan in Ireland, who also just knows so many arcane, and he knows books, and he knows his Irish, obviously, his history and folklore, and she asked for a recommendation, and he recommended, and I got for Christmas as a result. This is the 1887 classic of Celtic magic and folklore, and it's written. This is fascinating, by Lady Francesca Speranza Wilde. This is the mother of Oscar Wilde. Isn't that wild? It's Yeah, and this is like under the series Ancient Legends, Mystic Charms, and Superstitions of Ireland. And apparently, this book will talk all about like the fairies, and just like they are not nice creatures, like the fairies' revenge, and then they'll steal your children. And it's just, this is going to go so well. And then I have the Irish short stories folio edition that Jason sent me. I just feel like I'm really just gonna dive in and get a really good education, and just like all things Ireland, and just ancient beliefs and things that still hang on, and it's intriguing to me. So this is not easy to find. It looks like this was printed on demand. Like at first I thought it was like a magic book, because there's no publisher. There is no publisher. I looked on the front, and no, but the contents talk about like the Lady Witch, the fairy race, the stolen bride, the evil eye, the fairy child, the leprechaun. I mean, everything is in here. Legends of the Dead in the Western Islands. I mean, this is cool stuff. I cannot wait to dig it. So thank you, Jason. Thank you for recommending this and giving us just, something we can really talk about, and I can learn more about, just what Martine remembers growing up in Ireland. And I'm just so intrigued. I'm just so enchanted, if you will, by all things Ireland. And I'm quarter Irish, so it's not like but I'm not from Ireland. I don't claim to be, no, I'm Irish just because, my grandmother was Irish. She was a McMonagall. That was her maiden name, and it's just getting me back in touch, making me think of my grandma, and I'm really just tickled pink by this. So thank you, Jason, so much for that. Thank you for, you know, just working in cahoots with Martine to get me something so special. So I'm really intrigued. I'll have to report back to you guys on that. And then on top of that, Martine found something else, and she didn't realize the version that she got me. It's perfect. It's an Oxford World Classic. She didn't even recognize that. This is Tales of the Elders of Ireland. A new translation of, and of course I'm going to butcher this, Martine was able to pronounce it. But so this is the first complete translation of the largest literary text surviving from 12th century Ireland, the most comprehensive early collection of Fenian stories and poetry. And of course, I love the Oxford Classic editions because they have the notes, the textual notes, the pronunciation guide, which is going to be key for me, bibliography, introduction. So this is like a nice little companion to this book here. So I've got some really cool Irish stuff going on here, guys. I'm really just so stoked. And the fact that Oscar Wilde's mom wrote this, I had no idea. But of course they were Irish. I just didn't know she was as literary or in a different way, a different area than her son. But yeah, this is so fun. And she included the gift note, which says, recommended by Jason, written by Oscar Wilde's mother. Oh, so yeah. So that was my book haul, for now, at least. I might have one or two more. Excuse me while I'm talking a lot here. So I'm pretty tickled by that. Let me see if I didn't forget anything. I don't think. So a couple of the other things is funny. We shared we gave each other movies, right, on Blu-ray. And I should have known this, but we have talked for a long time about how much we love this movie. It's rarely on cable, and we should just have it. But then we didn't talk about it for a while, and I'm like, I'm going to get that for her for Christmas. Well, apparently she had the same thought. So we both got each other Mad Max Fury Road, by the way, which is an awesome movie. And if anyone didn't recognize, like I did in the beginning, that Furiosa by the awesome Charlize Theron. I love her. This woman has so much range. It's incredible. But she was awesome in this. That Mad Max is not him. It's not supposed to be him. It's Furiosa becomes Mad Max, or is Mad Max. I was like, oh, God, it's so empowering. Well, of course, Martine got the better one. She got the not only the regular one in color, Fury Road. She got the black and white edition, and this one has all the additional special features and commentary. Martine is a huge cinema movie addict. TV. I mean, she can sit there and reel off names of like, oh, that person was in this, and they wrote this, and this one directed that. She's just got this knowledge. It's incredible, and she loves listening to director's commentary. So I just thought that was neat. But in addition to that, she also got me one more, which I'm just going to plug because this movie surprised the hell out of me. I've seen it several times now on cable, but again, Charlize Theron, Atomic Blonde. You might think it's something silly. It's a really good it's set. The setting is what sells it. Oh my gosh, it's in Berlin at the time of the Berlin Wall falling. The soundtrack is amazing. I mean, if any of you grew up during that time like I did, just that's the music I grew up with, man. It was outstanding. It's great. And this one has the longest fight sequence. I think in one take, I think they had to make a couple key edits, but it shoots like it's one unending battle scene, like fist fight, and she's getting the crap kicked out of her, but she's also kicking butt. And it's just, if you haven't seen it, it's just incredible. I mean, it's brutal, it's violent, but oh, I highly recommend it. I love Charlize Theron. She's great. My sister wants to go see that new movie with her in it, and I'd like to see it for Charlize Theron, just to see how she again transforms herself. But it's Bombshell. It's about the Fox News ladies and the sex harassment charges. But if you've seen the trailer, Charlize Theron looks beyond eerie. She looks eerily like Megyn Kelly, but apparently they did that with she had some key prosthetics put in or something. But woo, it's kind of creepy looking how she looks exactly like her. But I'd like to see it just for Charlize Theron. Again, I think she's an amazing actress. I remember when she did Monster, and when she played Eileen Wuornos, the female serial killer. You would never recognize her, but her acting is just. She's great. She's not just a pretty face, you know what I'm saying? She's a really good actress. I really like her. Um, I feel the same way about Naomi Watts. She gets kind of undersold, I think. She's an amazing actress. I've always liked Naomi Watts and her work. Okay, so I think that's some of the things. Boomer, gosh darn it, he got away with something while I was on camera. He's not supposed to be eating rawhides. Ever since he had his bladder stone, he cannot have these treats anymore. Boomer, drop it. No, you took advantage of me. Anyway, guys, so that's a little bit of a ramble. Boomer, you want to say hi to your... Come here. Come on. Come on, tell them what you just did. Tell them. Ugh. Sit up. Are you sorry? I'm not sorry, Peggy, and I'd do it again. He's a good boy. He's a good boy. Anyway, I just hope you guys have had a wonderful Christmas. I'm getting some more reading done. I'm still reading that book I showed you the other day. Okay, get down. A little Vietnam memoir / third person thing. I'm still waiting for the battle to begin, but that's pretty good. Oh, sorry. So in addition to starting White Nights, I have started another fiction book, and it's surprising me. I am really surprised by this book so far, and I'm not sure when I don't think it's out yet. This is The Sacrament by Olaf Olafsson. It's really drawn me in, and I'm only 70 pages in. It's a page turner. It's about, let's see, what is this? A young nun is sent by the Vatican to explore allegations of misconduct at a Catholic school in Iceland. Again, books that are set in cold places or different places like that, I really enjoy. It's a nice look. A setting can just sell me on a book, just like the Shetland series. It's cold, it's isolated, I love it. Okay, so during her time there on a gray winter's day, a student at the school witnesses the school's headmaster, Father August Franz, fall to his death from the church tower. 2 decades later, the young student, now a grown man haunted by the past, calls the nun back to the scene of the crime. Seeking peace and calm in her twilight years at a convent in France, she has no choice but to make a trip to Iceland again, a trip that brings her former visit to Iceland as well as her years as a young woman in Paris powerfully and sometimes painfully to life. During her time in Paris, she had met an Icelandic girl whom she has not seen since, but whose acquaintance changed her life, a relationship she relives all while reckoning with the mystery of August Franz's death and the abuses of power that may have brought it on. So, yeah, this is it's really touching. It's very moving. It's just the way it's written. It's very, it's understated, but there's some artistry here. And I don't often review like fiction. I'm mostly a nonfiction history person, but I can say it's really reeling me in, and I can see a lot of myself in the lead character here. Um, yeah, it has elements of like faith and doubt and things like this, and wrestling with your identity and with your faith, and it's profound. So if you guys are interested, if this sounds good to you, it's called The Sacrament. It's Olaf Olafsson, and set in Iceland via way of Paris. So you'll get a lot of Paris references. I'm only 70 pages in. Okay, so that's a nice long 30-minute video, you guys. I hope you enjoyed it. I hope you stuck around for part of it. I'm going to make another quick video. I'm going to do the Meet the Booktuber tag, which I think I covered a lot of those questions in the newbie tag. But you know what? We've had a lot of new people come, and a lot of new subscribers. So this may be a good time to just check in again and refresh you guys' memory about who I am and just some interesting little facts about me. So in the meantime, cheers, more eggnog to you and yours. And I hope you're doing well. I'm glad to be back. I missed all of you. And be safe out there. I'll talk to you soon. Okay, bye.